The East Carolina Pirates will take on the Florida Gators in the Birmingham Bowl. For those who might not be too familiar with the Birmingham Bowl, it has been around for some time. Since 2010, it was named the BBVA Compass Bowl, and from 2006 to 2010, it was the PapaJohns.com Bowl. And then before that, it was named the Birmingham Bowl, so it's back to its original name. Birmingham is considered by some as the capital of college football, as it has routinely had the biggest TV audiences for regular and postseason college football games. The game will be held at historic Legion Field, where the Iron Bowl between Auburn and Alabama took place from 1948 to 1988. The stadium also has played host to the first two SEC championship games in 1992 and 93. Coincidentally, Florida played in both of those games against Alabama, which is the last time the Gators played there. Let's take a closer look at the matchup. East Carolina has had a whirlwind of a season. They lost at South Carolina in Week 2, but was the trendy pick to be the Group of Fives representative in the college football playoff earlier this season. The Pirates rose to as high as number 16 in the national polls after beating Virginia Tech on the road and destroying in-state rival North Carolina 70-41. Then the Pirates suffered back-to-back losses at Temple and Cincinnati, and then an even more heartbreaking Hail Mary loss to close out the regular season against UCF. But Ruffin McNeil and the Pirates have a chance to end on a high note against a team they will kick next season off with. East Carolina and Florida have a contrast in styles this year. The Pirates with the second best passing offense in the country, and Florida with a strong defense that is keeping them in a lot of games. Quarterback Shane Carden, who was also named the American's Offensive Player of the Year, has led his team to 366 yards and 37 points per game, putting the Pirates in the top 20 nationally. Carden has unquestionably been the leader for the Purple and Gold, throwing for over 4,300 yards and is second in the FBS in passing. He also has 6 games with 3 or more passing touchdowns this season. Carden's go-to guy is the FBS all-time leading receiver, Justin Hardy. He has more than 1,300 yards and 9 touchdowns this season and is the leading receiver out of the American. Hardy was also named a third-team All-American. If East Carolina fans hear Carden to Hardy quite a bit and the Pirates can get a lead, things will be looking pretty good. They have outscored opponents in the fourth quarter 151-57 this season, while not surrendering a single halftime lead in 2014. On the defensive side of the ball, the Pirates have had a couple of standouts. Defensive back Josh Hawkins has made 4 interceptions this season, good for 4th in the American, while breaking up another 11 passes. But Terry Williams has been the real disruptor, a massive senior D lineman out of Loganville, Georgia. He originally came to East Carolina as a linebacker, but has worked his weight up to a listed 353 pounds. He has great athleticism for his size and has definitely gotten the attention of NFL scouts. ECU has struggled with turnovers, -4 on the season, but that hasn't been the case for Florida. They've struggled on offense, but they've taken care of the ball and forced turnovers. The Gators are +8 in that category. The Pirates will need to take advantage of the Gators' offense and win the turnover battle. That will be the big difference maker. For Florida, the defense has been led by cornerback Vernon Hargraves III. He was a second-team All-America pick and an All-SEC first-team selection, and leads the league with 13 pass breakups, ranking 11th in the country. The Gators led the SEC by only allowing a little over 4 yards per play, and were second in the conference with about 300 yards allowed per game. They rank 9th nationally in total defense. If Florida wants to win, though, they're going to have to find a way to move the ball after struggling all season with their passing game. Freshman quarterback Trayon Harris took over for Jeff Driscoll during the season, but has only completed about 50% of his throws. He's been better than Driscoll when it comes to not throwing interceptions, but the Gators are struggling to find a guy who's going to be a real playmaker in the pocket. Running backs Matt Jones and Kelvin Taylor have picked up some of the slack, combining for over 1,300 yards rushing and 12 touchdowns this season. They combined for over 25 carries per game and both average more than 10 on their own. The run game will be necessary and key to Florida's offense. In the Gators' last game of the season, they intercepted last year's Heisman winner Jameis Winston 4 times in a tough 24-19 loss to undefeated Florida State. This game will most likely be offense versus defense. The Pirates have only seen one SEC defense this year, and that was against South Carolina. So the Gators have a chance to disrupt offensive coordinator Lincoln Riley's scheme. This will be the team's second meeting. Florida won the first one in 1983, 24-17, but it will be a good preview as the Pirates will head to Gainesville to start their 2015 campaign next year. Obviously, the Pirates will look a lot different as they graduate quite a few seniors, and the Gators will also have a new coaching staff. In replacement of Will Muschamp, Florida defensive coordinator DJ Durkin will serve as the interim head coach in the Birmingham Bowl. But the Gators have named a new head coach for next season, Jim McElwain from Colorado State. You can catch the Pirates and the Gators in the first of 2 consecutive meetings, January 3rd at 1 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN. For the American Digital Network, I'm Haley Outen.